guess firstly for Dave, how do you sum up a performance like that, just first off?
Oh, well, it was frustrating. We just couldn't get in the game. So yeah, frustrating.
So it just shows the value of the Fruition battle, and they just seem to dominate that from the sort of first whistle to the end. Just didn't seem to get back to the 17.
Yeah, no, it's fair. I mean, early on, they turned a bit of ball over against us. A couple spat out the side, and it gave them momentum. They certainly defended well. Yeah, look, we just struggled to get any continuity, and they strangled us pretty well. I thought aerially we were excellent, bar one. But getting back out of that corner, we struggled.
Dave, can you put your finger on why things didn't click?
Oh, I mean, for a start, South Africa were very good. Like I said, they choked us down the far end of the field, and we lost collisions early, and that was frustrating. It gave them momentum. There's a series of penalties, which we went out with the yellow card, and so we got put under heat early. Even without a lot of ball, we rallied pretty well, I thought, first half, and disappointing to give up a try right on half-time, 7-3 going in without having much ball or territory. We worked pretty hard for that, and we were confident if we get our game going, get a bit of continuity that we could hurt them. So I mean, it wasn't really till late, and I felt if we could hang on to a bit of ball, the penalty count swung the other way because, we were able to hang on to possession, and I think at one stage there were maybe 4 advantages, which could have amounted in a card, and unfortunately they found a indiscretion with Al at a clean out, and it got reversed. So yeah, in the end we weren't good enough to turn any pressure into points.
James, how's the mood amongst the boys after a performance like that, mate?
As you can imagine, pretty disappointed. It's pretty quiet in there, and I made a point after the game, like, this one has to hurt a lot. I want the boys to hurt because, yes, South Africa were good, but I just felt like we didn't really play much rugby at all tonight, and that winning the collision sort of talk really hurts me. So
that stat about the team not winning back-to-back games is going to keep popping up. Is that a genuine problem? Do you guys need to work on that? Maybe the motivation is saying about just not being able to back up wins?
That's a good question. I think I spoke during the week about we wanted to review last week and take. We want to be a better rugby team. At no stage do we think we're the finished product, and I think individually we just need to have a look at ourselves, and I'm confident we're tracking the right direction. We just need a bit more polish, and we just need to execute under pressure.
Dave, where does that defeat kind of rank in the last few years, do you think? Because like Sydney, there was inexperience at 10-12 against the All Blacks a couple of years ago. Argentina, obviously really difficult circumstances there. But I know there was a couple of concussions either side of half-time, but where does that kind of sit?
I'll reflect on it over time, but you're right. There's a couple of concussions tonight, which affected our ability to potentially play. I think the biggest thing was, we needed to play with a bit more optimism tonight. We were struggling to get our game guard, so we needed to play with a bit of tempo and kick smarter. We kicked a lot of ball out rather than kicking long or finding grass just in behind them where there was a fair bit of space. So, even at 17-3 with 10 to go, we felt if we get down the other end of the field and get some continuity, maybe we could claw this back. So, I thought there was some excellent defence in amongst what we did tonight. But it felt like we didn't fire a shot, and they were very good at strangling us. They go multi-phase and then put it up in the corner and choke you down there.
Dave, what was the story with Taniela?
He got injured during the first half warm-up.
Okay, is that the same cup?
No.
Different cup? Okay. I was going to say, and as well, how much of an impact with the concussions as well? Obviously, that was a big reconfiguration in the back line there.
Yeah, I mean, we trained for worst case scenario, so Cal's trained a bit at 13, Hodgie obviously at 10, with Jake's probably had about 2 moves on the wing, so not a lot, but I thought he was excellent, both when he came on the wing and then when we moved him into 9. Yeah, look, it's not ideal, but it happens in footy nowadays, so yeah, look, it obviously affected our continuity to play late in the game.
This week marks a year out from the first game of the Rugby World Cup. As part of the grand plan that you wanted to bring him, you came in on board. Are you happy with where the team's at 12 months out from the World Cup opener?
Yeah, I mean, what we're looking for is consistency. And so, you know, last week it was 70 minutes of excellent footy. And we wanted to build on that tonight. And we met, you know, a team, I mentioned this before, but, you know, international rugby at the moment is so tight. And you only have to be a couple of cogs off and you're going to end up finishing second. And we've seen that right throughout this Rugby Championship. So, you know, we've got to be better. We've got to win those key contests. And you know, we're well short in that area tonight.
Dave, no one likes to keep chopping and changing the team, and you had the luxury this time of being able to pick the same team back to back. Doesn't get any easier though. You've got the All Blacks coming up. Does this sort of lean you more towards making changes again, or do you think you've got the right lineup and you're sick with them?
I mean, we'll review. I mean, you know, the only change we made was Jake coming into the bench, and that was really on a rotation because, you know, there's not a lot between our 3 9s, and so I mean we'll review it. It's yeah, like there's key areas where we've got to be better. And the tempo we needed to play out against South Africa, which we did well last week, couldn't emulate that tonight, and that's disappointing.
Have you got an idea about, in terms of kiddo rules, etc., what the availability is now for Rory, but also you spoke about using before someone like a Kirtley brings lots of options. Is he a guy that might now be in the frame? And in addition, is there someone like a Byrne Foley to stay on to?
Yeah, I mean, are all possibilities. Yeah, we'll reassess. We'll pick another squad from an All Black campaign point of view, and we'll name that, I think, Wednesday.
James, there was a moment after the game we really the team came together, really seemed to sort of huddle inside sort of Allianz Stadium. You talk about that hurt. I was just wondering kind of anything you can share about that, those sort of discussions, and when you can kind of take out of it heading into this Bledisloe series.
No, I just wanted the boys to, I guess, realise how much it hurts and hold on to that really, and let that drive you into the future, because we do, you know, we can be disappointed for a day or two, but at the end of the day we got the All Blacks coming up in 2 weeks, and if you're still kicking cans around at that time, then that's not going to help anyone. So like, I want it to hurt, but at the same time I want to be better. Like, we've got to be better, and that's what I just put a challenge to the group essentially.
It's all still there for the taking, James. I mean, a couple of wins, championship, all that sort of stuff. Like, how do you keep that motivation, the belief in the group up as skipper?
It's tough when you're walking off the field after a loss, but yeah, we've got a lot of confidence in the group that we have. But as Ren said, we're after consistency, and that's the big driver for us. And when we, you know, start seeing that, I feel like we'll see a lot of success come this way. But at this point in time, that's our work on.
Dave, what's your message to supporters? You talk a lot about earning the respect of the nation and you want to get them behind it, but it's tough to do when it's one step forward, kind of 2 back.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't know about 1 forward, 2 back, but yeah, look, it's what I said before. It's a tough competition. You know, you've got to be at your best every week to be in with a sniff, and yeah. So look, you know, clearly that's been a big part of our mantra We have an understanding of we're playing for something bigger than ourselves, and there's no shortage of motivation in this group, and there's no shortage of belief. But we've got to win those key moments, and we've got to do the basics a hell of a lot better. Certainly, we're a long way away from the start we had last week.
Last couple, please, guys.
Bigger picture, Dave. Tonight, new stadium, 38,000 people, 27 penalties. Seemed like the game didn't really get going. Were you happy with the officiating and Ben's performance?
You're right. There was a lot of penalties, a lot of stoppages, and a lot of kicking, and probably not a great spectacle. So I think everyone played a part in that.
Short turnaround into the All Blacks game Thursday night. How did the new World Rugby concussion laws affect Noah and Hunter's availability for that game?
From an amount of days point of view, it's not an issue. We'll still go through the same sort of protocols. So, both of them. Hunter was ruled out immediately. So this is a category 1, and then Noah failed his HIA. So he certainly had headaches even after the game. So we'll assess how that goes.
Sorry, Dave, is there any early update on the seriousness of Taniela's injury?
No, it's just it's almost down towards his Achilles, but it's not an Achilles injury. It's something to do with his calf. So we just got an update at half time that he felt something during the warm up during the first half, and so he got tested again after half time, and it was no good. So when we sort of slips off, if Alan had have fallen over, and the slip sort of had to go back out there and play a bit of tight head.
Dave, you have gone with a 6-2 split for the last 2 weeks. Is that something tactically you might look at switching up for the All Blacks in a few weeks?
Yep. We did it for a reason. It was a 5-2 split tonight, as it turned out. Look, that is a risk, and we ended up with obviously losing a 10 and a 12, a half pick on the wing, and Marika sort of on one leg for a big chunk of that second half. So, look, it worked well for us last week. Maybe put us under a bit of heat tonight.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.